Oregon property taxpayers. This is Steve Anderson with the Property Tax Avengers. Got another update for you, talking about valuations on properties in Oregon, how it works. Essentially, there are two values on the account. When you get the statement from the county in October, there's an improvement value, which is all the buildings and exterior buildings on your property, barns, shops, that kind of stuff. And the other one is land. And today we're going to talk about the land value itself and how it's determined, and some things that are influencing the land values regarding your taxes and a tax statement. The county assessor's office has an advantage because there are so few land sales recorded on an annual basis. So land value is determined by the assessor's office on that piece of property. Okay, it's something that they go ahead and just assign. And without land sales to, as evidence, you can't. It's hard to go ahead and challenge those values. So that's true of commercial properties also. You'll have a lot of different land values all over the board on commercial properties locally, and the problem is there aren't a lot of sales out there of raw land or improved land situations that are of like zoning, close in proximity to the subject property you're talking about, etc. The other thing comes up that people don't realize too is the view quality. The view quality is attached to the land value. Locally, actually, in the state of Oregon, land value view qualities have a rating system of 1 through 9, and 9 would be a panoramic view of everything around you, mountains, rivers, etc. And then from that, you start going down to 8, 7, 6, etc. And then what happens there is that the view quality drops as you drop in numbers down to 2, 1 or 2. Most counties will not put a land value on a view quality on the property till at least a 3. So, but I've seen so many situations where we go on inspections. I'll ask the question, do you guys have a view quality assigned to this property? Yes, we do. What is it? It's a 9. We had one about 2 years ago over in Northwest Portland where they had a view quality of 9 assigned to the property. Went over to the property and looked at it, walked through the front doors, went out the back door and looked. It was a daylight ranch style home. So we're on the upper floor, if you will. Looked out into a canyon. Okay. If I went on the deck and craned my neck and turned left, I could see downtown Portland. The view quality is from the main floor looking out, looking out the window, so to speak. I was looking at a canyon, a tree canyon, if you will. That might be a 3 view quality, or 4 at best. And the county had a 9 on it. That was over $100,000 right there, differential in valuation between what it really was versus what they said it was. Right? I was out on one the other day where they had a 9. They had signed the view quality as a 9 on the property. And right in the middle of the backyard, there's this huge fir tree. It's 200 plus feet tall, sitting there. And literally, you can look around the right side of the tree or the left side of the tree and have a pretty good view. But looking right at the tree, which most of the house did, there was no view, just the tree itself. And so I argued that one, I got that lowered. So when we go out and do these inspections on these properties with the county assessor staff, this is kind of things we ask questions about. Okay, what's the view quality on this particular property? Why do you guys have it as a 9? And of course, their answer is, well, it was done 40 years ago. It wasn't me. I wasn't here then, so someone else did it. And the purpose of the inspection is to clean up the mess that the county made on the record from prior the prior inspection. So that's important. Secondly, is that topography of the property. I see a lot of times where the county has a full building lot valuation. Let's say you have a 10,000 square foot lot and the zoning in your neighborhood is 5,000 square foot lots per house. So you have an R5 zoning with a 10,000 square foot lot. I've seen the counties come along and say, well, that's a double lot, therefore it's worth $800,000, $400,000 per building lot. Well, that can be true. That could be true until you start looking at the reality of the situation. The second lot has a 30 to 40% terrain drop off. So you have this, I don't want to say a cliff, but it's pretty steep. And I've been able to successfully argue with the county, look, yeah, I can build a house on a second lot, I'm gonna spend $300,000 or $400,000 in engineering to put in a foundation for the second home, okay, that will be complacent, or excuse me, will work with the particular topography of that lot. I gotta add that cost on somewhere because it's not the same. If I'm buying a $400,000 lot and spending $400,000 for a foundation before I build a house, I have to have a $2, $3 million home before I get done to make it worthwhile, make it, economically feasible. If I'm in a neighborhood of $800,000 homes, and you want me to build a $3 million home there, it's not going to work. It's not going to pencil. So a lot of times we look at that situation. Is it economically feasible what they're talking about as far as the lot goes? Another thing that happens on land values is that not so much the county itself, who's the assessor, who's putting the value on, but other entities, government entities like cities, metros, another one too that does this. Well, they come along and say, you know what? We're going to put an overlay in this particular area for wildlife. We want a wildlife corridor to allow wildlife to go from point A to point B without having to have problems. Or environmental overlay. Maybe you're too close to an environmental sensitive area, okay? And they come along and willy-nilly just go ahead and pop this on the property, and now you have this restricted use. You can't build a house on there. There are decisions made by government entities that can affect your property, both positive and negative. I found the case to be mostly negative, quite frankly. On commercial properties, you have the same situation there. You have lack of use. You have zoning changes take place. So the goal of the tax statement, the tax bill, if you will, is to reflect the current market value for that year when they give it to you. If you have that situation where you have a negative influence on your property, be it residential, commercial, whatever, we need to talk about that because it can lower your value and can lower your taxes. Just want to give you an update on land values and how they are impacted. And so let you know that information there hopefully will help you. And jump into our website if you like, propertytaxadventures.com. Take a look out there. And thanks for listening.